Hi, my name is Piñol,
My name is Josep Riba,
and we're gonna do the interviews. So let's start.
Let's go.
So, good afternoon, Wayne Rooney. My name is James Dean, and I'm the interviewee. So, if you don't mind, take a seat and let's start.
Okay, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak to you.
Okay, so if you don't mind, we're gonna start. So, tell me, how are your wife and kids right now?
Well, they are doing great, and they are my biggest support, the ones that I love the most, and they are great. The kids always playing, messing around, but yeah, they are good here in Derby, and that's all that matters.
So, they behave themselves in the coronavirus time during the lockdown?
Yes, it was quite difficult for the kids to wear a mask, but well, it was uh, obligatory, so they had to get used to it.
Yeah, my kids too. It was hard, man. So tell me, what is Wayne Rooney doing right now?
Well, right now I'm coaching with all my staff the county, which is a team that is now in the championship.
Oh, that's great.
And well, now we are not in a really good position, but I think that with some effort and some changes, we might finish with a good season.
I sure hope so. Good luck of that.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna start to do some following questions about football, and then a few questions about your personal life, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So, what was your first memory of you playing football?
Well, that's a deep question. I remember in the backyard, house of my grandparents, playing with the ball. I think that might be the first memory that I have. It was my grandpa who who gave me the first ball, and I think that would be my first memory.
That's a beautiful memory, right there with your grandpa. So, early in your football career, you played your first match in the Premier League against the Tottenham Hotspur. How do you remember that? It was a difficult match, an amusement match.
Yeah, well, I was really nervous at the start. I was quite young. The new signing of Manchester United, and it was quite difficult to start playing, but I remember it like a really special night that I will never forget.
Amazing. That's amazing. And what about when you heard about the offering of the Manchester United interested in you?
Yeah, I was playing in Everton, the club that I love, but you can never say um, no to Manchester United, and so I immediately said yes. I was ready for the challenge, and well, record goal scorer for the club. So I think that I made it.
That went pretty well. That's correct.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. Ronnie. What what do you feel like a football player to score in a very big competition? Excuse me, like the Champions League.
Well, that's a sensation, a feeling that cannot be described with just a few words, you know. Um, Also, when it's like a really important match in the final stages of the competition, um, it's like you're extremely happy for your teammates, but also obviously for you to have scored and to progress in the competition. I think that's the most beautiful part of the game.
Okay. So now for the contrary of that, how did you feel when you scored your last goal of your football career?
Wow. You know, I in my last season, I didn't know when I would score my last goal. So yeah, I didn't know at that time that it would be my last goal. But every goal that season was really special. As I knew that earlier sooner I would become a coach and not play as a player.
Okay. So for the finishing of the football part, I have a last question, and it's the do you have any favorite moment in in your entire football career? Any highlight?
Yeah, well, I think most of my fans would say that my highlight was my bicycle kick goal against Manchester City.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, you know, the my my biggest memory was winning the Champions League title.
Of course.
Yeah, I felt really overwhelmed, and yeah, that was amazing. I think lifting the Champions League title would be the best memory for me.
I think it would be mine too. So we're gonna start with some personal questions. Hope you don't mind.
No,
Like,
okay.
I had some sources told me that at the age of 25 you went to a hair clinic to get a transplant. Is that true? Because I really need one.
Okay, yeah, I see. Yes, I can recommend you a clinic. Now my hair is really strong. And yeah, I went there, yeah. So to a clinic because I wasn't good with myself. I know that there's a lot of bad people which is um, great with their body, and that's okay. But well, I thought that I might, well, that I would really like to have hair. So I went there and yeah, okay, you see, really good.
That's a pretty strong hair, just like you.
Yeah.
So I have another interesting story. That it's back in the day, there was a rumor of you giving Tevez, your co-player in the Manchester United, a brand new Lamborghini. So what's the story about that?
Yeah, well, that obviously was a bet. He told me that if he scored at least 20 goals in the Premier League, well, to give each other a Lambo. So we did that, and that year we won the Premiership. So well, I had to give that present to him, that Lamborghini. Yeah, little stories with my friend Davis. Yeah.
That's a pretty good story. So any chance you could get a bet with me?
Well, right now, I don't think that we have any bet to do it. I don't know. I mean, what do you propose?
I mean, we can get our kids to do a match of football, and the winner get a Lamborghini to the loser.
Well, if you can pay that to me, I would be really honored to.
I don't think I can
have
do
this
that.
event with you.
I don't think I can do that, really. So let's continue with the interview. So, are any of your kids playing football right now?
Yeah. One of my kids is now playing for Manchester United
Oh my God.
in yeah in the former teams. And yeah, he's doing well. I really believe in him. I don't know if he will become a professional one day. I always tell him to study, to be, responsible in the school. And yeah, and he knows that if he fails an exam, he will not play football anymore. So he's pretty conscious about this. Yeah.
Pretty good. You're almost as good as parenting as you are in football.
Well, I try to. But yeah, I think it's more difficult to educate a child than scoring a hat-trick. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
I will agree with that. So, Ronnie, for what last question is that what are Wayne's plans for the future?
What else? Sorry, why?
What are Wayne's Ronnie's plans for the future?
Yeah, well, my plans now to continue with my contract now in the recovery, and that's it. Maybe someday to join any other club. I don't know. Now I'm focused in the recovery, in keeping the division, in continuing being in the championship, and that's all what I'm thinking right now. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, so that's it. You should keep your phone down, Wayne.
Sure.
That's very rude for your part. So that's all for now. Very huge pleasure to meet you, and I hope we could get another interview anytime soon.
Okay, yes, don't worry. You will have it. Okay?
Thank you very much, Ronnie. See you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Hello, Mr. Andreu Lacondigui. Lacondigui, is that correct?
It's Lacondiga.
Lacondiga. Alright. Andreu Lacondiga, I'm really proud to meet you, really nice to meet you.
Thank you.
I would like to make a couple of questions here. First of all, I want to know about this surname. Where does your surname come from?
My surname?
It's a French name, right? It's not Spanish.
It's actually a made-up surname. It's like my stage name. I made it that way because I'm like a count, Lacon de. So Lacon de Guy. It's like a Catalan version of that. So.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. Okay. Now talking about you. A month ago, you had a terrible accident, and you had to be operated. How are you doing now?
Well, I was practicing for the upcoming event, the Rainbow Rampage, and in a drop, I went too far with my bike and I crashed too hard with my left shoulder. So I broke it and I had to go to the hospital and make the operation. So pretty bad, yeah.
And it went well, right? I think, as I read.
The what? Sorry?
It went well.
Yeah, the operation went well. I'm currently in my recovery station. So I'm training from home, and in a month or two I will start the full recovery.
Okay, perfect. I'm so glad to hear that.
Thank you so much.
Talking about the Red Bull Rampage, this is the biggest freestyle mountain competition freestyle for the competition. Sorry. Um, how did um, how was to win this competition? How did that feel?
I mean, it was completely amazing. I was astonished. It was a full year of preparation before the contest, and get up in that podium. It feels like I don't know, nothing in this world. Like amazing. Like I'm living in a cloud. So
Yeah, it must be really really exciting to win that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. As you're a legend in your field, I would like to ask you, um, like you have already traveled all around the world.
Yeah.
Which place of all you have visited um, do you like the most?
My favorite place for biking, it's in Vermont, Canada, because they have a lot of slope mountain, a lot of terrain that I can ride with. And my favorite place to stay and relax after the season of training and competition, it's in my home place in Sant Cugat, Catalonia. So just the place of my parents, I can relax there, be with my brother, and live like a little child again.
Yeah, talking about your house, um, I've read that you have built your own bike circuit in the back of your house. Um, when do you use it? In your free time? You use it for training before competitions?
it's it's a little bit of everything. I mean, we build it in the back of our house just so we can get out of the door and start the practicing. Start for the freestyle practicing, a little bit of downhill too. It has a lot of things to train and just what I said, just to get out of the house and be able to train right there.
Yeah, that must be great. Um, nowadays, but nowadays you are now 32 years old. Have you already considered retiring soon?
Well, I mean, that's a tough question. That's a tough question. Of course, right now with the injury and all that, you have the different thoughts in your head. But retiring, no. I think I'm in my prime time right now. I feel pretty good, and I will continue as long as my body let me do it.
Okay, I hope that you will make it.
Thanks so much.
There's a video about your circuit that was recorded by Red Bull. How important is for the riders to have companies like Red Bull that sponsor you?
I mean, it's a very big deal. The profits you make in a year comes from sponsors. So you don't win, let's say, in a competition. If you finish first, you could win like from 10,000 to up to $1,000. But if you added the sponsorship, you can get pretty far from that. So you can make very big money and actually live from the sport that you love, and you don't have to care about doing second jobs. So you can full-time training, racing, and traveling around the world. So it's a very big deal to get a sponsorship.
Yes, for sure. Um, now, you have been in a lot of competitions. Um, I'm wondering, who of all your opponents do you think is the one um, you have more rivalry with?
I mean, bike competition is not more of a rivalry. You compete against yourself. But if you have to pick one name, that would be Brandon Semenek, the winner of this year's Red Bull Rampage. He did a phenomenal job just riding he amuses all the riders. But at the end, when you finish the round and you get to the top or to the bottom of the mountain, we are like brothers. We share the same passion, and we feel like we are a big community. So yeah, my biggest rival is Brandon, but not like in a rival way, more just like a brother to compete with.
Well, that's great. I've not, I have not heard that in a lot of sportsmen. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that from you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Now I would like to ask you a little bit tricky question, but maybe you can answer me. Nowadays in Catalonia, there's an independent process led by Carles Puigdemont.
Yeah.
You know, as a Catalan that you are, what do you think about it, Andrea?
Yeah, I mean, I think I can't position myself in these aspects just because of the sponsorships I have and all that stuff. But if I had to say one word, it's like full Catalonia, man. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And now my last question would be, did you like the interview?
Yeah, it was a very pleasant interview. Like a pleasure to meet you. And I hope we can make another interview in the future when I'm well and I can ride a bike. So do you. So do you.
Yes, when you win the next Red Bull Rampage.
That's a lot of pressure, man. That's a lot of pressure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
See you. Bye bye.